Hi guys, I'm back. This is Afro Puffs. I'm gonna do this video on how to make your own hair product. I'm not gonna give extremely detailed information, but hopefully this can give you a good start. As you know, I'm a cosmetology instructor as well as a small business owner and a natural hair stylist, a licensed stylist, of course. And some of my students and just people who are interested in the cosmetology industry ask me, how do you make your own product? Where do you even start? And I know it can seem really overwhelming. So I just tried to break it down into a few simple steps, and hopefully that will help you all out. So, how do you make your own product? And these are just the steps I followed. There might be like a cosmetic chemist out there who is like rolling their eyes like, oh my God, this girl just gave all the wrong information. I'm just telling you how I started, how I came up with my product line and the steps I took to get kind of where I am today. So, how do you start making your own product? The first question I asked myself when I did decide to start making a product for natural hair was, what do I want it to do for the hair? Yes, I want to make a product, but what do I want it to do? So I know I wanted something that would help the scalp, strengthen the hair, moisturize the hair, make it more manageable. So just list the things you want it to do for the hair. Basically, what benefits do you want your product to have? So once you list all that out, then question number 2 that I asked myself was, what ingredients will it take to attain those benefits in the hair? I know I want the hair to be softer. I know I want to be able to detangle. What ingredients and hair products causes those things to happen? So I did my research. And that's another thing, side note. You have to be able to read. Well, of course you have to be able to read, but you have to be willing to do research and read and look at different things. I read a lot of books. I actually would go to the university library at my local university, and I would go to the dermatology section, and I would check out books on dermatology, or I would sit in and read books on dermatology, journals on dermatology, and hair care, scalp care, all that stuff. So I just looked at, what are the masters in the field? What does it take for them to become a master in the field? What material are they reading? What are they looking to? What documentaries are they watching? I looked at everything from trichology studies to hair and scalp diseases, which is what trichology is the study of. But I read books on dermatology that studied hair and scalp diseases, and kind of looked at the natural. Once I looked at those things, then I researched the natural remedies for those things. So that's where I started picking up the ingredients that I decided that I wanted to use in my product. And then also, once I saw all the ingredients that I felt were attainable and affordable for me, I looked at which ingredients complement each other. Because there's some things that do work well together and some things that they say not to mix. You may not get positive results with 2 different things mixing. So that was step 2. Find out what it takes to achieve the goal that I want in my product, and find which items will help me achieve that goal. Third, once I did all of that, it comes the trial and error. You want to come up with their recipes. You'll make your list of items and then attain those items. Once you attain those items, you're going to start experimenting. There's a website, Crafty Monkey, I believe, is the website. And she's a cosmetic chemist, and I really like her website. I love it. I go on there and read stuff all the time just to get a professional view on product making and what does what for the hair, benefits, negatives, and things like that. So I came up with recipes. When it came with a recipe for a product, some things you can make directly. You can mix, aloe vera with cocoa butter and olive oil and whatever and make the product. Some products will require an emulsifier. Some of the items that benefit the hair, you can't just place it directly on the hair. So you will need something that will carry that item to the hair. So a good example is I use amino acid powder. I cannot just put amino acid powder into an oil and expect it to deliver the results I want it to deliver. So that's where the emulsifier comes in. And that's another conversation I'll have. Emulsifiers show up and products as alcohols. So you'll see cetyl alcohol, stearyl alcohol, or these different types of alcohols. And I know with a lot of us naturals, as soon as we see alcohol, we run for the hills because we think it's actual, alcohol, the type of alcohol that, the type of alcohol that that dries out the hair, the ethanol alcohol, and it's actually not that. It's only called alcohol because of the way that the fat is distilled from the source. So you can have an alcohol derived from palm oil or coconut oil, or any of the above different natural sources that they get it from, and the way they distill these fatty acids or emulsifying acids from those natural substances is the same way they distill alcohol from, say, a potato or bread or yeast or whatever that they distill it from. So when you see alcohol, just know which alcohols are good and which are bad. I know Curly Nikki's website has a list, and there's another one. I'm so sorry. I didn't plan on taking that side note, so I didn't come prepared with the notes, but I will find them and get them for you and put them in the description. But there's a lot of natural hair bloggers that do put the difference of the good and the bad alcohols. They list the different ones for you. So like I said, some of your products can be directly mixed. You can mix your butter, oil, such and such together and form a product, or some will require an emulsifier like one of these alcohols that I named, and you can blend them with your different ingredients to actually make a good product. Consistency, all depends on you. You can decide how the viscosity, how thick you want it, how watery you want it. Do you want to add color? Do you want it just to be naturally colored from the ingredients that you're using, or do you want to add mica powders or other artificial colorants so that you can differentiate them? You just have a lot of options of making it your own. But when you do kind of come up with your recipe, things get a little simpler because at least you have the product down. That's number 3. So I'm going to go back over it. 1 was what do you want it to do for the hair. 2, what ingredients will achieve that goal. And 3, what will your recipe be. 4th, for me, after I did all that, cost of supplies came in. I had to look at, because it's easy to buy, I want to buy this from this website, order this from here, order labels from here, order bottles from here, but it all adds up. And you want to try to make a profit, and I never used to consider that before. I was just mixing for the fun of it. So I started realizing I was spending more on supplies and not really getting any profit back on product. So you want to kind of look at how much will it cost for your ingredients. You need ingredients to make the product. Bottling, you have to put the product into a bottle. Label, you have to be able to tell people what the product is, what the ingredients are. You put your logo on it, brand yourself. And then packaging, when people buy from you, you can't just hand them a product. You can't just be like, okay, here's your conditioner. Are you going to put it in paper bags, plastic bags? Are you going to ship? All of those things come. What forms of payment are you going to take? Cash only, PayPal, Square Reader, Cash App, Android Pay. There are just so many different sources of payment. Are you going to sell online only? Are you going to have a storefront? Are you going to mix from home? Are you going to have a professional mixing site? So all of cost of supplies and cost of manufacturing, all of these things come into play when you are making a product. Getting your LLC, opening a business account, building business credit, all of these different things. So just those are things to look at, but that's a whole different story. That kind of has nothing to do, so sorry for the sidetrack. But cost of supplies, like I said, ingredients, bottling, labeling, packaging, pricing. When it comes to pricing, I was, of course, you don't want to just mix something and say, okay, this shampoo looks like it's worth $10, so I'm going to charge $10. No, you actually want to break down the price, the cost per unit. So let's say for a shampoo, you have your lathering base, the distilled water, the oil you use. Just say we're making a basic, you're using an oil and an essential oil, carrier oil like olive oil, and essential oil like tea tree. So you want to break down the price of the gallon of water, the price of the surfactant, the lather, the soap, whatever is gonna, make the shampoo a shampoo, the oil, and the two active ingredients, which would be your carrier oil, olive oil, and a essential oil, tea tree, like I said. How much are all of these things? Now, when you make one bottle, how much is it going to take? So let's say you're making one 10-ounce bottle of shampoo. You want to look at what fraction of each amount of that, of the items you bought will it make to make that shampoo. So let's say you'll use 1 ounce of distilled water, 3 ounces of shampoo base, 2 ounces of the olive oil, and a few drops of the essential oil. So you want to break down how much do those fractions cost? How much does the amount used cost to make that bottle? So let's just say it cost you $1.25 to make that one bottle of shampoo, because maybe the bottled water cost $1. You only used an ounce of it. So if you break down the dollar cost per unit, I should have done better math, but you get what I'm saying. You want to break down how much of this $1 gallon of water, how much of it did it take for me to make this shampoo? Out of this gallon of shampoo base, how much of it, let's say it's cost $5 for the gallon of shampoo base, how much is 3 ounces of this base worth? So of course, you're going to divide the dollar amount by the ounces to see how much it is per unit. So that's how you break it down. They say once you do that, you actually have your cost per unit. How are you going to calculate your profit? They say you take that and multiply it by 2. I'm so sorry, I have it written down, but you take that and you double it, and then you multiply it by a certain number, and that is going to be how much you charge for your product. I think they said you take it, add $5, and then multiply that by 2. And then of course with wholesale, you'll take that number and divide it in half, or whichever percentage you want to charge wholesale by, but that's another story. So cost of supplies. And then after you figure out how much everything costs, now it comes to branding. What is going to be your logo? What are you going to sell yourself as? What's going to be your elevator pitch? When people think of your product, what do you want them to think of? You always have to have like a little spiel to give people when they ask about your product. What makes your product different? So, for example, with my product, Hair Garden, how does your garden grow? I make natural hair care and scalp care products that help promote healthy hair growth, that help retain length and promote hair growth. Someone might have something, that's what the aim of my product is. So that's kind of how I'm going to brand myself. Whenever people ask me about my product, that's the area that I have the experience in. So that's where I'm going to lean towards. So hopefully that helps. So I'm going to go over my bullets again. 1, what do you want this product to do for the hair? What are the benefits? What benefits do you want this product to have? 2, what ingredients will it take for you to achieve that goal? 3, what recipes? What blend of these ingredients are you going to put into your product? 4, how much are these things going to cost you to make the product that you want, to come out with the great final product that you want? And then 5th, you just have to brand yourself, get yourself out there, get your website, get your social media going, and that's pretty much it. So while I'm telling you all these things, I've in no way mastered it myself. I'm still learning too. I reach out to all my fellow female and male entrepreneurs, people who are out there making things happen, and I'm learning things every day. So don't be discouraged. Don't feel like it's something that you can't do or it's over your head. It's simpler than you think. Start simple, and then the more you learn, work your way up, and you'll be surprised how much you'll be able to accomplish. Hopefully I was able to help with this video. If you have any questions, please submit. Also, do not forget to check me out on my website. I have my blog there. It's www.thehairgarden.org. Also, check me out on my social media, AfroPuffs, APHROPUPHS, on Twitter and Instagram. And I am The Hair Garden. Nursery, the Hair Garden on Pinterest and on here on YouTube. So you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me, and I can't wait to come back with the next video. Bye.